You say you want to be great, but do you truly understand what that means? I was not born strong. I was not given an easy path, but I refused to accept limitations. I refused to make excuses, and because of that, I became unstoppable. Today I ask you, will you keep hiding behind excuses? Or will you wake up and take control of your destiny? People look at me and say, Bruce, you were destined for greatness. But I ask them, where was this so-called destiny when I was poor? When I was mocked for my heritage? When I had nothing but my own two hands? I was not born into success. I did not wake up one day and suddenly become strong, skilled, or respected. No one handed me anything. In fact, when I arrived in America, I had little more than a dream and the will to fight for it. I was a foreigner, struggling with language barriers, facing rejection at every turn. Hollywood told me I wasn't the right fit. Martial arts masters told me I was breaking tradition. The world tried to convince me that I had limits, but I do not believe in limits. I do not believe in waiting for someone to give me permission to be great. If I had believed in luck, I would have stayed in the shadows, hoping for my chance. But I do not believe in luck. I believe in action. I believe in movement. I believe that the man who sits and waits for fortune will die waiting. So I moved, I trained, I worked when others slept. I pushed my body, my mind, and my spirit beyond the breaking point. I did not wait for the right moment. I made every moment count. When doors closed, I built my own. When opportunities were denied, I created my own path. There was no secret, no magic, just relentless training, ruthless self-discipline, and an unshakable belief that I would become the master of my own destiny. You see, most people dream of success, but they refuse to take the hard steps. They want the reward, but they are afraid of the work. They blame circumstances, waiting for the perfect chance, the perfect day, the perfect conditions. They wait for luck. But there is no luck. There is only effort, persistence, and the courage to keep moving forward, even when the world says you can't. I did not wait. I acted, and that is why I became unstoppable. If you are waiting for luck to change your life, you will be waiting forever. You say you have no time. I say you have no discipline. I have heard this excuse from so many people. Bruce, I want to train, but I just don't have the time. I want to improve, but I'm too busy. I want to chase my dreams, but my schedule won't allow it. And every time I hear it, I shake my head. Because time is never the problem. The problem is that people do not respect their time. They waste it on distractions, on comfort, on things that do not bring them closer to their goals. They tell themselves they will start tomorrow, but tomorrow turns into next week, next month, next year, until one day they wake up and realize they have wasted their entire life waiting for the right moment. Let me tell you something. There is no right moment. There is only now. And if you do not control your time, it will control you. I did not have more time than anyone else. I had 24 hours, just like you. But what I did with those hours was different. While others were sleeping in, I was up before the sun, training my body and sharpening my mind. While others were distracted by entertainment, I was reading, studying, improving my philosophy. While others made excuses, I made progress. People think discipline is a prison, a burden. They think it takes away their freedom. But this is a lie. Discipline does not limit you. It sets you free. Free from laziness. Free from regret. Free from the pain of knowing you could have been more, but you chose not to be. Every morning, I wrote down my goals. Every day, I tracked my progress. Every hour, I made sure I was doing something that moved me forward. I did not leave success to chance. I designed it. I lived with intention. And so, when people told me they didn't have time, I would ask them, "What did you do today? How many hours did you spend working on your craft? How many hours did you spend improving yourself?" And most of the time, they had no answer. Because the truth is, it is not about having time. It is about making time. You will never find time. You must create it. You must take control of your schedule. Cut out what does not serve you. Stop doing things that waste your energy. Say no to distractions. Say no to laziness. Say no to anything that keeps you from your potential. Because in the end, it is simple. Either you use your time, or your time will use you. Either you control your life, or your life will control you. You say you have no time. I say you have no discipline. But discipline can be built. If you truly want success, if you truly want to be great, then stop making excuses and start making time. Because the clock is ticking, and the only question is, will you use it, or will you let it slip away? I was broken, but I did not break. At the peak of my training, when I was growing stronger every day, when my mind and body felt unstoppable, something happened. Something that could have ended everything I had built. A devastating back injury, a pain so sharp, so deep that even I, a man who trained through exhaustion, who pushed through limits, could not stand, could not move. The doctors looked at me and said, "Bruce, you may never fight again. You may never even kick again." They thought they were giving me the truth, but I refused to accept it. Because I do not believe in limitations. I do not believe in surrendering to fate. I do not believe in letting pain define me. But make no mistake, I suffered. The pain was real. There were days I could barely move. I had spent my entire life training my body, and now it had betrayed me. I could have let that break me. I could have accepted my fate. Most men would have. But I am not most men. I made a decision. If my body could not move, my mind would. If I could not kick, I would learn to strike in new ways. If I could not train, I would study. I would sharpen my philosophy, deepen my understanding, and turn my time in pain into my greatest transformation. And so, while the world thought I was done, I was rebuilding myself. I spent hours reading, writing, and refining my approach to combat and to life itself. I wrote what would become the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, a collection of my deepest thoughts, my philosophies, my strategies, something that would outlive me, something that would inspire warriors long after I was gone. I refused to let my injury be an excuse. I refused to be a victim. Instead, I used the time to grow. Because I knew one thing: a strong body can be broken, but a strong mind cannot. And when I recovered, and I did recover, I was not the same man who had been injured. I was stronger, wiser, more precise in my movements, more disciplined in my mind. I had taken my suffering and turned it into fuel. This is the truth. Life will break you. One way or another, it will test you, push you, hurt you. And when that moment comes, you will have two choices. You can let it break you, or you can take the pain, the loss, the hardship, and turn it into something greater. You see, suffering is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the moment you decide. Will I fall or will I rise? I was broken, but I did not break, and neither should you. Stand up, rebuild, come back stronger, because no pain is greater than the will to overcome it. Fear exists only in the mind. I have seen it in the eyes of men just before a fight. The hesitation, the doubt, the small moment where they question themselves. What if I lose? What if I fail? What if I am not good enough? That moment is more dangerous than any punch, any kick, any opponent, because fear is not physical. It does not strike with fists or weapons. It strikes from within. And once it enters your mind, it will control you, weaken you, destroy you before you have even begun. Many people live their entire lives like this. They are not defeated by others. They are defeated by their own hesitation. They never start the business they dream of. They never step onto the stage. They never take risks, never push themselves, never dare to be great because of fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But let me ask you, what is fear? Have you ever touched it, held it in your hands, seen it with your eyes? No, because fear is an illusion. It is a shadow, a ghost. It only has power if you believe in it. I was never fearless. That is a lie people tell themselves. I felt fear just like anyone else. But the difference is this. I never let fear stop me. I did not allow it to make my decisions for me. When I first stepped into Hollywood, they told me, "Bruce, an Asian man cannot be a leading star." They laughed at my accent, told me my style was too aggressive, my presence too foreign. Many would have accepted this. Many would have shrunk back, afraid of rejection. But I knew, if I listened to their doubt, I would be giving power to fear. So I did what fear did not expect. I moved forward. I trained harder. I made my own path. If they would not give me a chance, I would create my own. And now, those same people who doubted me, who told me I would fail, speak my name with respect. I did not let fear control me, and neither should you. People fear failure. But what they do not realize is this. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is the teacher. Every mistake, every loss, every struggle is a lesson. It sharpens you, strengthens you, prepares you for the next battle. The only true failure is never trying at all. People fear judgment. But let me tell you something. No matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. If you succeed, they will criticize you. If you fail, they will laugh. If you do nothing, they will pity you. So why care? Why let the opinions of others decide your fate? People fear the unknown, but the unknown is where all greatness lives. If you never step into new territory, you will never grow. If you never take a risk, you will never know how far you can go. Fear wants you to stay small. Fear wants you to doubt yourself. Fear wants you to sit down, to be silent, to never take the first step. But I tell you now, stand up, face it, walk through it. Because on the other side of fear is the life you were meant to live. I have faced fear. I have looked it in the eyes, and I have defeated it. Now it is your turn. There is no opponent, only yourself. People ask me, "Bruce, who was your toughest fight?" They expect me to name a rival, a great warrior, someone who tested my strength. But I tell them the truth. My greatest opponent was never another man. It was myself. The real battle is not against others. It is against your own weakness, against your own doubts, against the voice inside your head that whispers, "This is too hard. You can't do this. You should give up." That voice is your enemy. Not the man standing across from you, not the challenges you face, not the world. Every day I fought a battle within myself. When I woke up early to train, my body told me, "Stay in bed, rest a little longer." When I pushed myself beyond exhaustion, my mind said, "Stop, you've done enough." When I faced rejection in Hollywood, when people told me I would never succeed, a small part of me wanted to believe them. But I did not, because I knew this. If I lost to myself, I would lose to everything. But if I could master myself, my body, my mind, my emotions, then nothing in this world could stop me. Most people think their enemy is outside of them. They think their boss, their competition, their circumstances, their past, their lack of resources. These are the things holding them back. But the truth is, they are holding themselves back. You do not lose because someone is better than you. You lose because you allow yourself to believe they are. You do not fail because life is unfair. You fail because you do not take control. You do not fall behind because of bad luck. You fall behind because you waste time making excuses instead of moving forward. Every morning I asked myself, am I better than I was yesterday? That was my only concern. Not being better than another man. Not proving anything to the world. Just improving myself one day at a time. I trained harder, not to beat someone else, but to conquer my own limits. I studied more, not to impress people, but to expand my own understanding. I disciplined myself, not to show off, but to build a mind that could not be shaken. Because I knew, if I am strong within, I am strong everywhere. If I master myself, the world cannot control me. The greatest warriors, the greatest thinkers, the greatest minds in history did not focus on beating others. They focused on beating who they were yesterday. So I ask you now, who is your real opponent? It is not the people around you. It is not the struggles you face. It is not the critics who doubt you. It is you, your laziness, your fears, your distractions, your comfort zone. This is your battle. And if you do not win against yourself, you will never win anywhere else. So stop looking outside for the fight. Look within. Defeat your doubts. Destroy your excuses. Push past your limits. Because once you master yourself, there is no opponent left to defeat. People say, Bruce, you have mastered martial arts. You have mastered philosophy. You have mastered the way of life. But I do not see myself that way. Because the moment you think you have mastered something, you stop growing. And the moment you stop growing, you begin to decline. I have always believed that true mastery has no final stage. It is a journey that never ends. Even as I became stronger, even as I perfected my techniques, even as I gained worldwide recognition, I knew there was still more to learn. Some people want quick results. They want success in a year, in a few months, even in a few weeks. They believe if they practice a little, they will become great. But true mastery requires a lifetime of dedication, a relentless pursuit of improvement. It is not about talent, not about natural ability, but about the discipline to refine, sharpen, and evolve every single day. When I trained, I never thought, I am good enough now. No, I would ask myself, how can I be better? I would throw thousands of kicks, knowing that one small adjustment could make it faster, stronger, more precise. I would punch until my hands bled, understanding that every strike had to become an extension of my body. I would study philosophy, not just to gain knowledge, but to understand the deeper meaning behind movement, strategy, and the way of life itself. Because mastery is not just about doing, it is about understanding. I did not just memorize techniques. I studied why they worked, how they worked, and when they were most effective. I did not just follow one style. I explored all styles, took what was useful, and discarded what was unnecessary. That is why I created Jeet Kune Do, a philosophy of adapting, learning, and evolving beyond limitations. Too many people think mastery is about knowing more, but in truth, it is often about removing what is unnecessary. I stripped away wasted movements. I simplified my approach. I focused on what worked, because in the end, mastery is not about doing more, it is about doing better. And the deeper I went, the more I realized there is no finish line. I once read a quote that said, "A true master is forever a student." And I lived by that. I sought knowledge from everyone. I learned from different cultures, different fighting styles, different philosophies. I did not care about titles. I did not care about rank. I only cared about becoming better than I was yesterday. This is where most people fail. They reach a certain level and become comfortable. They think, I know enough. I have trained enough. I have learned enough. And so they stop growing. But the moment you stop growing, you begin to fall behind. This is why so few people become great. They are satisfied with good enough. But I tell you, good enough is the enemy of greatness. If you want to achieve true mastery in anything, whether it is martial arts, business, creativity, or life itself, you must commit to constant evolution. Never assume you have arrived. Never believe you are finished learning. Never let comfort keep you from improving. Because those who seek to master their craft must remain eternal students. I trained, I studied, I pushed myself, not to prove anything to the world, but because I knew there was always another level, another layer, another depth to reach, and I was willing to spend my entire life reaching for it. So I ask you, are you willing to do the same? Are you willing to commit not for a week, not for a year, but for a lifetime? Because the path of mastery is not easy. It is not for those looking for shortcuts. It is not for those who fear struggle. It is for those who are relentless, those who are obsessed with growth, those who are never satisfied with who they were yesterday. If that is you, then understand this. Your journey has no end, but that is what makes it powerful. Because true mastery is not about reaching the top. True mastery is about never stopping the climb. Many people believe that success, mastery, and greatness come from complexity. They think that to be strong, they must add more techniques, more strategies, more knowledge. But I have learned the opposite. Power does not come from adding more. It comes from stripping away what is unnecessary. This is why I built Jeet Kune Do, not as a collection of complicated moves, but as a philosophy of simplicity. I studied every martial art, every style, and I saw one truth. What works is always simple. A punch does not need to be beautiful. It needs to be effective. A kick does not need to be flashy. It needs to be powerful. A block does not need to be elaborate. It needs to work. I removed wasted movements. I eliminated anything that did not serve a purpose. And in doing so, I discovered something powerful. The simpler something is, the more unstoppable it becomes. This is true not only in fighting, but in life. Look at the people who struggle the most. They are overwhelmed, distracted, chasing too many things at once. They fill their minds with unnecessary worries. They make their paths complicated. They add steps that do not need to be there. But if you study the truly great ones, the warriors, the philosophers, the masters, you will see that they all understand the same principle. Simplicity is the highest form of mastery. A powerful fighter does not think about 10 different moves at once. He focuses on the one that matters in the moment. A great strategist does not make plans that are overly complex. He keeps them direct, adaptable, and precise. A successful person does not waste time on things that do not move them forward. They cut away the distractions and focus only on what is essential. To become strong, you must simplify. I trained my punches until they were fast, direct, and effortless. I trained my kicks until they were instinctive, sharp, and efficient. I trained my mind to think clearly, without unnecessary thoughts clouding my judgment. Simplicity in movement, simplicity in action, simplicity in thought. That is the key. Too many people waste their energy on the wrong things. They chase perfection instead of effectiveness. They want to be everywhere, do everything, impress everyone. But they do not realize that true power comes from focus. A lion does not chase many animals at once. It picks one, locks in, and goes after it with everything it has. That is how you must approach your goals. If you want to master something, remove distractions and focus deeply. If you want to succeed, stop overcomplicating and take direct action. If you want to be strong, strip away weakness, hesitation, and doubt. I did not become powerful because I knew everything. I became powerful because I simplified everything I knew. I did not waste movement. I did not waste energy. I did not waste time. This is why I tell you, look at your life. Where are you making things more complicated than they need to be? Are you overthinking instead of doing? Are you hesitating because you are lost in too many choices? Are you carrying too much baggage, too many distractions, too many useless thoughts? If you are, then understand this. Power comes when you remove what is unnecessary. The greatest warriors are not the ones who know the most techniques. They are the ones who have mastered the few techniques that truly matter. The greatest thinkers are not the ones with the most ideas. They are the ones who can take the most complex idea and make it simple. The greatest people are not the ones who do the most things. They are the ones who do a few things with absolute precision and mastery. Do not let the world complicate you. Do not let your mind clutter itself with excess. Strip away the noise. Let go of the distractions. Find what truly matters and give it everything you have. Because when you simplify, you become faster. You become sharper. You become unstoppable. And that is true power. Your time is now. I see too many people waiting for the right moment, waiting for confidence, waiting for motivation to strike them like lightning. But let me tell you the truth. The right moment will never come. You will never wake up one day suddenly feeling ready. You will never find success waiting on the path of hesitation. You will never become great by hoping, wishing, or dreaming. You must act. Now, do you know how many people take their dreams to the grave? How many people spend their entire lives saying, one day I will, but that day never comes? How many people let fear, laziness, and distractions steal their potential? I refuse to live that way. And so should you. I did not wait for someone to tell me, Bruce, it's your time. I did not wait for an invitation to succeed. I did not wait for permission to become who I was meant to be. I made my time. When Hollywood told me I wasn't fit to be a lead actor, I didn't sit back and accept their words. I created my own path. When my body was broken and doctors said I might never fight again, I rebuilt myself, stronger than before. When the world placed obstacles in front of me, I did not stop. I found a way through. And now, I ask you, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for someone to believe in you? Believe in yourself. Are you waiting for the perfect circumstances? Make them. Are you waiting for fear to disappear? Walk through it. Are you waiting for the right skills? Start where you are and improve every day. Because whether you take action or not, time is moving. And every second you wait is a second lost forever. Do you want to look back on your life and see nothing but missed chances? Do you want to live with regret, knowing that you had the potential but never had the courage to use it? Do you want to wake up one day and realize you wasted the only life you were given? Or will you choose differently? Will you stand up right now and say, enough? No more excuses, no more waiting. My time is now. Because I promise you this, the moment you stop waiting and start acting, everything will change. Your body will get stronger, your mind will get sharper. Your confidence will grow, your life will transform. But none of this happens until you make the decision, until you take the first step, until you stop thinking and start doing. You have one life, one chance to make something of yourself. one opportunity to leave behind a legacy. So what are you going to do with it? Are you going to keep waiting, keep making excuses, keep living in hesitation? Or are you going to take control right now and become the person you were meant to be? The choice is yours. The time is now. Be water, my friend.